What's good, fellas? Today I'll be going over the worst MMA fan bases. Some of these guys I used to like, but their fan bases have made me not like them because they're so miserable and obnoxious. Um, you know, I have about six different ones on here, and I'm gonna get right into it. Oh man, first up, this one's a bit of a different one. I have any Kazakhstan fighter, man. So I have Shavkat and Esu Almabayev. Look, if you enter a comment section, like ESPN MMA or talking about any of these guys, I'm not even joking. The whole country of Kazakhstan is going to be in that comment section spamming the Kazakhstan flag. It's miserable. You can't even they're all in like Russian and everyone likes the comments, so it sucks. It literally sucks. Any single one, they're just spamming the Kazakhstan flag everywhere, and talking in different languages. I'm not joking. I really think the whole entire the whole entire country of Kazakhstan, I don't know how many people are in there. They get to that comment section, bro. I'm not even joking. It is awful, and it's kind of pissed me off a little bit because there's just so fucking many, and you'll see what I'm talking about if Shavkat and Bilal get announced. You'll see it, bro. It's legit every fucking time. It's just thousands and thousands of comments, just Kazakhstan flags and speaking whatever language they speak. It's miserable. It's really miserable. And I had to put them on here. It's kind of one that nobody really knows about or talks about, but I've noticed it and it's fucking miserable, man. People just don't stop. It's just thousands of them. It's awful. All right, next up, O'Malley fans. Okay. I liked Sean O'Malley originally. I love his fight style. I do like his fight style. I don't really know if I like him. Oh man, I have a lot of I know a lot of my buddies are casual fans. Like any O'Malley fan, they're casuals, bro. They'll have him as his wallpaper or their wallpapers, or they'll have shirts, and they can't tell you a thing about O'Malley, who he's fought. They don't know anything. I mean, they don't know anything about O'Malley. It's miserable, man. They try to tell you that he's never gonna lose and that he's never been in trouble and he's just the best fighter ever. He's so good. And I do think he's great, but bro, these guys are over the top with it, man. They really do think O'Malley is like the best fighter to ever grace the octagon. Like they will tell you he'll be the GOAT when it's all said and done, man. They're extreme casuals. I have the Happy Dad Nelk thing down there because it's typically the Nelk fans. Oh my gosh, they're miserable, man. I know a lot of my buddies are like this. They like O'Malley, and it's kind of a diss towards them, but it gets out of hand. Like it's just people just don't know when to stop, bro. They're just all over him. They wear his shirts, his wallpapers, and the O'Malley fans on Twitter aren't bad, but it's the casual fans, man. They just think he's the best fighter ever, and he's never gonna lose, and he's the Messiah. Like it's just ridiculous, man. People just ride this guy like crazy, and personally, I don't really like O'Malley. I think he's about to be 30 and he still acts like a little kid in some sense, like a college kid, bro. You're 30 years old, man. Just let it go a little bit, right? With that being said, it's just like the frat guys, bro. They just like, if you go to any fraternity and you talk about Sean O'Malley, they'll just like talk your ear off. They're like, dude, I fucking love Sean O'Malley. And like they'll say he's the best ever and he's pound for pound number one and he's never gonna lose. And those are the only fights they watch, is O'Malley fights. They don't watch any other fights. They're at a bar, drinking, and they want to watch O'Malley. That's it. And they'll just you try to dispute an argument, they're all gonna team up on you. It's awful. And those guys are some of the worst fans in MMA, truly. I truly do not like talking to them. And you can't have an argument with them because they don't know anything. Every single time. Man, it's sort of a diss, like I said, to people I know because, they're like this. And I've noticed it, and it's not fun. It's never fun to argue with them because they don't know anything. So, yeah, I have O'Malley fans on here for a reason. Next up. Oh, man. Oh, this is probably the worst one. I have John Jones old head fans. Look, the old heads will stand by John Jones no matter what. They think that, he is not afraid of Tom Aspinall, and that, if that fight were to ever happen, John Jones would come in there and destroy Tom and, beat the hell out of him. And they don't consider that John is, older. He's not fast anymore. He's not good on the feet really at all. And yes, John Jones is good. I still think, if you were to put him in the heavyweight division, I think he beats a lot of the guys. But, bro, he's not that good, man. At this point, I know he submitted Cyril Gane, but Cyril Gane's a quitter. He quit in that fight, and that was, I'm not even joking, that was the biggest scripted fight of all time, bro. Like, if... How do you tap to that guillotine, bro? I don't even think, I would not have tapped to that. They'll stand by him forever, similar to Dana. And they'll just talk about him like he's still number one pound for pound and he's the best. Like, John Jones is the best. No, what Dana does that. But, oh, yeah, they'll never talk about... I know you can't see the bottom of this. They'll never talk about all the conduct or the conduct issues and the drug issues John's had. If John Jones goes out there and does cocaine and drinks again and gets a DUI, they'll stand by him and say, "Oh, he's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. Doesn't matter. He still beats Aspinall. He'll do it. Even off the drugs, he'll beat Aspinall or the PEDs. They never talk about that. They'll never talk about that. It's just a sliver, and they're the worst, man. The old heads." They're not fun to talk to about John Jones, and they're miserable. And when John retires after the Stipe fight, and I'm hoping Stipe comes out there and fucking beats the hell out of John, it would just be, oh my gosh, man, it'd just be icing on the cake. I would just love it. And they'll tell you if he beats Stipe, he's the best heavyweight ever. So a 43-year-old Stipe, they'll tell you, oh yeah, John's still the best heavyweight ever if he beats Stipe. So the Tom shit is ridiculous, man. You go on Instagram, you looked at any of those comments, John submits him in the first round. Tom doesn't have any ground game, and little do they know, Tom, arguably, in my eyes, I think Tom is better jiu-jitsu than John Jones. Obviously on the feet, at this point, man, I'm going to be honest, it's not even close. It's really not close. Tom Aspinall is levels above John Jones on the feet. I mean, we're talking about a guy who is 10 times the speed of John Jones, right? And he doesn't have the reach advantage. He does have the height advantage. He has the size advantage. Tom Aspinall would legit beat the fuck out of John. And I'm not even joking. If the odds open up at minus 300, I'm still taking Tom. He would not lose to John, bro. And people could say John would keep the pace. I think if John gets to the later rounds, maybe he could win. But the old heads don't think it's like Tom poses any problem. They think John runs right through him and just beats him easily. And it's ridiculous. Most of these guys, they're the old head fans that don't understand how much the game has evolved and MMA has evolved. John at that point was very good. He I'm not going to lie, but his opponents, bro, they weren't as good as they are now. Come on, man. It's not even close. It's similar to the, basketball thing, right? When you look at basketball players back in the fucking 70s and shit, and you look at them now, it's completely different. And I think we're starting to see that in MMA a lot more, and people don't even acknowledge it, especially the old heads. They still think John, absolutely is the best number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and they will stand by it forever. No matter what he does, if he goes home and beats the hell out of his wife, he's the best pound for pound fighter ever. Best pound for pound fighter ever. No issues, It's ridiculous, man, and you see guys like Nick Diaz get suspended for all that time for smoking weed, and then you see John Jones beat his wife, DUIs, PEDs all over the place, and he's still an active fighter and considered the GOAT. It's ridiculous, and I'm not a fan of that. And next up, we got Oliveira fans. Oh, man. Look, I really like Charles Oliveira. I really do. But his fans are delusional as fuck, man. Come on, bro. It's one of those instances where you see the sad TikToks and, Charles crying after a win or how he's so emotional and people just attach to him, man. It's the TikTok edits. We'll see another guy like this on here soon. And one main point here is they think Oliveira deserves an interim rematch with Arman, and they think that's a possibility. I don't know why that fight would ever happen. Let's be real here. Arman, in my eyes, won every round of that fight. Why the fuck would they do an interim fight? Charles has lost 2 fights in a row. he doesn't deserve an interim fight with fucking Armin, bro. It's just a stupid thing, and they think it's logical. Yeah, that should be a fight. He just fucking beat him unanimously. Like, why would that? And I believe it was a split decision. I don't know how. In my eyes, if I watched that fight, I could see it 30-27, maybe 29-28, but it was clear Armin. Clear Armin. He easily won that fight, and people think, they want to see an interim fight. I don't know why. Charles missed his opportunity. He got cut in sparring. It's his fault. I like Charles a lot, but bro, his fans are miserable and delusional, man. They're so stupid. It's like I said, bro, see the sad edits and they just attach to him, think he's the best fighter ever, and he was great, but bro, he's coming to the tail end. He's not as good as not as good as Armin, not as good as Islam. Islam beat the hell out of him. It was just, Armin, they think he deserves it, and it really blows my mind. I don't know how anyone could think that, and it's like a logical thing. People think that's going to happen. It's very stupid, very stupid. And yeah, I hope the best for Charles. I want to see him get back on the right track, but his fans make me, they're obnoxious and delusional, man. I can't stand them. Next up, oh boy, the Dagestan fans, the losers of the Twitter community. They have really nothing going for them on Twitter all the time. They deny the roid questions, and they can't answer any questions about why the Dagestan fighters pull out of fights all the time, and can't make weight. They don't really ever talk about that. They always talk about how dominant they were. They don't talk about how privileged they are in terms of the matchups they get. Look at Khabib. He didn't fight any grapplers. No one. Like, I'm not even joking. I think Matthäus Gamrot could come in there and beat Khabib. Tell me why he couldn't. I'll wait, because I don't know. Maybe Khabib can hold him down. When it comes to the feet, I saw people struggling to hold, Armin struggling to hold Matthäus Gamrot down, and, Matthäus Gamrot won that fight, and it was a very close fight. But why couldn't Matthäus Gamrot beat Khabib? I think it'd be a close fight. Like, this guy has gotten privileged matchups his whole career. He cuts about 50 pounds to make the weight. He's a cheater. As well, I like Islam. I actually do like Islam Makhachev. Umar in the same boat. They fight like kind of fight like pussies, if I'm being honest. They don't really they kind of just play games on the feet and just pitter pat shots, and then they'll shoot a takedown just to get where they want. But their fans are just absolutely the worst. They just glaze the fuck out of them. Half of them aren't even, from Russia. I bet probably 2% of them are from Dagestan. The rest aren't even from anywhere near there. And all they do is just dick ride them because they have these crazy records and they're undefeated and they never lost. Oh man, they're obnoxious. I'm not a fan of those guys at all. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. This is a more recent one as well. Khalil TikTok edit fans. Yeah, just like Khalil, because they see his edits on TikTok, he's got the sad edits on TikTok, and people just, like I said, with the Oliveira situation attached to it. Look, they try to convince you Khalil deserves a shot and that it's going to be an entertaining fight. Oh, yeah. It's not going to be entertaining, man. You know what's entertaining to me is high-level matchups. Khalil Roundtree isn't that. He's not a high-level fighter. They've never watched a full fight as well. They've never watched a Khalil Roundtree fight. They've never watched, him really fight at all. They just see the edits and they see he's ferocious, and he's a good story or whatever. And, I always go back to that Dustin Jacoby fight. Where he lost. He should have lost that fight, and he got a win. It was ridiculous. A terrible decision. One of the worst decisions I've ever seen, to be honest with you. And I don't mind Khalil Roundtree, but, bro, with this recency bullshit, with the Pereira shit, I don't like him anymore, man. It's sad to say that stuff makes me not like the guy. But, bro, it's out of control. I made a video on it. I don't know if I need to go further into it, but people just think he is a ferocious fighter and very good Muay Thai technique, and they'll show you the Eric Anders fight. Brother, it's Eric Anders, man. Are you serious, man? It's Eric Anders. He's horrible. Come on. And people just think they really convince you that he's gonna, yeah, have a shot in here, and he's gonna knock out Alex, and he's got the chance to knock out Alex. Of course, anyone has the fucking chance. I have a chance. Anybody walking down the street has a chance, bro. It's just, he's not gonna win. He's not high level at all, man. Alex is gonna floor him easily. I'm not worried about it at all. I, there's no chance Khalil wins that fight, man. And this, and to me, it's kind of disgraceful that he even gets an opportunity to be a champion, really. If I'm being honest, man, he doesn't deserve it at all. And everyone knows that except these guys. They think, oh, it's going to be an entertaining fight, so it doesn't matter regardless. What's entertaining to most fans and to me is high-level fights. It's not with the guy that deserves it. That's high level. He doesn't deserve it. Magomed Ankalaev would legit beat the hell out of Khalil Roundtree. On the feet, on the ground, doesn't matter. He'd beat the fuck out of him. Magomed Ankalaev would beat his ass on the feet. Jamal Hill would beat the fuck out of Khalil Roundtree. Yuri would beat the hell out of Khalil Roundtree. Rakic would beat the hell out of Khalil Roundtree. Nikita Krylov beats Roundtree. And Volkan Ozdemir probably beats Roundtree. This is what I'm saying. There's nobody in front of him that I think he beats. Which is embarrassing that he even gets this shot. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and I like I said, I try to stay away and make those comments not fool me into not liking Khalil, but it's gone too far and I can't stand it anymore, and it's awful. Now I have honorable mentions. I have Israel Adesanya and Pereira. Alex fans are cringe as shit, and it's always talking about the Shama. Oh, it's cringe, man. They're like, wait till Alex gets that Shama in him, bro. Like it's become a joke now, but people were serious about it. It sucked. It sucked. But these kind of guys, these guys aren't as bad. Adesanya, they're miserable. They swear his title reign was way better than it actually was. It wasn't like that crazy. He wasn't finishing guys left and right. They swear it was like, in a way, it was like Charles, where it was like going into the fire, and it wasn't, bro. It was Vettori, Cannonier, and fucking, Costa was a good one. But they just think it was way better than it actually was, and I had to put them on here. They're not as bad anymore due to Izzy falling off, and Pereira is not as bad anymore. But people on the Pereira side, he's been getting favorable matchups. Let's not sit here and act like he hasn't. Let's be real. Magomed Ankalaev beats Alex Pereira, and that's just what I think. And I think after Alex knocks out Khalil in the first or second round, he'll go up to heavyweight. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I hope y'all boys enjoyed. I should be getting my Contender Series picks out tomorrow. And I will catch y'all boys in the next one.